Always a delight to know you're already there with us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. A million apologies, we're behind time a little bit today. Thank you for your patience, thank you for your understanding. While your guess is as good as mine, what we should be talking about on today's edition on the program Politics Today, reaching you live on independent television and radio. My name is Sonny Duke Okosun. Yes, the road to 2023 election is getting more interesting, what with the fact that campaigns have fully commenced. But what is the message in the campaigns? We're waiting to see how deep the campaigns will be, how tensed the campaigns will be, how inciting and exciting and meaningful the campaigns will be. And so far so good. It's been an interesting one. But let me get to meet our panelists here. Barrister A.B. Thomas is a regular on the show, a legal practitioner, public affairs commentator, and analyst. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Viewers at home.
We also have with us here in the studio a former senior special assistant to Edo State government, Comrade Collins Osara Amadi. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Duke, good morning. Viewers at home, good morning.
Okay, from wherever you are watching or listening, I want to say big thanks to you for creating the time to be part of our package today. And you know, as usual, we'll open our studio line so you can call and be part of the discussion and be part of the conversation as far as today's program is concerned. Okay, the 2023 election, the most talked about part of it is that youths wants to take an ownership of the election, or youths are set to take ownership of the election. Are you convinced by what you have seen so far that the youths are ready to take ownership of the election using the October 1st rally that took place in major cities, major towns, major communities across the country? Let me start with you, Comrade Collins Amadi Osara.
Oh, thank you very much. I were actually expecting my question, but however, the youth have always been part of governance. The youth have always been part of politics. But the only good thing is that the consciousness had risen more than it used to be. And two, for the rally I said that took place, I did not see it as a rally of a movement, but I saw it like a political party did rally. You know, a rally that took place that they were done by a political party, a road march, a walk march. And in doing all of that, certainly the people you organized, or either you paid them, or their solidarity march, or they came out in solidarity, there must usually be a youth. Because you don't expect an aged person, either a man or a woman who is above 60 years, to trek a long distance. So every party have a youth wing, every party have its energetic team. And by so doing, you call them out by way of telling them you need to do this, by way of also awakening their consciousness. You decide to do a walk march. It's not just one party apparently that be doing a walk march. We have seen APC do a lot of walk march. We have seen Labour Party do a lot of walk march. We have also seen PDP in some states also do a walk march. It's just a new way too of also kicking off campaign. Because indeed, even before campaign actually started by INEC, we have saw some interest already doing a walk march by way of awakening consciousness. So, however, the youth we even have today, I will tell you, 75% of the present youth we have today ordinarily are not even ready for leadership. I owe nobody apology to that. It's not to come out to say we want to be part or coming out in a system of wanting, you know, to evolve crisis, or wanting to come up with a system of saying we are all out. Are you truly ready to be part of governance? Are you truly ready to be part of those who move Nigeria forward? Everybody certainly cannot be in office as well as it concerns politics, but we can all play different roles in moving our nation forward. I think that is what should be more primary. At what segments are we coming together to move Nigeria forward? It's not about being an SA, being an SSA, or being a local government chairman, or even becoming president or what have you. Are different faces in different offices, whether government parastatals or no government parastatals. How much are the youths ready? Sometimes when I walk on the streets, over the time, for the past 2 weeks, sometimes I'll be moving on the street when I see even some areas where I reside more.
Yeah.
I shed tears when I see the kind of youth we are having.
Okay.
When I see the kind of standard they are creating for themselves, you know, it's quite unfortunate.
Okay.
When I hear the kind of things that come out from the mouth of many of them, I feel very worried. I feel the future of the youths are already blinking. In short, if not already finished.
Okay.
But in all, there are still some percentage we can give a nod to, that they are working so hard to also really make sure good governance come on board. And I pray by the grace of God that we have a leadership come 2023 that will give direction to Nigeria and help us build institutions
Okay.
where everyone indeed will consolidate on.
All right, Barrister Ebi Thomas, you've been very conversant with some of these developments. What meanings have you drawn from these actions or maybe inactions by the youths?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the youth are ready to take leadership in Nigeria now. We have been saying that tomorrow belongs to the youths. Ask me. Major General Buhari was governor of Borno State at what age? Today is the president of Nigeria. Gowon was head of state of Nigeria at what age? Today, he is now retired. Most of the current players in the field today were the leaders we had in the late 60s and early 70s. The youth have realized that if we keep on leaving these people in the saddle of leadership in Nigeria, the youth keep on suffering. And that is why the October March cannot be called a one-party march. I didn't go out to stroll in the streets, but my heart was with them. My mind was with them. Whenever the youth marched on October 1st, I was with them in spirit. And that tells you that you already know where I belong to. And if we say what comes out of the mouth of the youth today is undesirable, that is because we have undesirable leadership in the country. If the country's leadership can use 280 million to cut grass, and you want a graduate to remain at home unemployed for 5 years, devil finds job for those who are unemployed. So if they talk brashly, then it is because they are frustrated. And that is why what we now have as a movement is a sort of a revolution coming out from the youths so that the country can galvanize. This movement is across board, across tribe, across political party. In fact, I was even very happy when I read in the past 1 week that 18 political parties are working for a particular youthful presidential candidate.
Okay.
That shows that they are not coming out openly. And they are across political parties, they are not coming out openly.
Okay.
Because Nigerian youths are frustrated and unhappy. In such situation, no matter how much the country is generating, you will find that the rate of crime and criminality will continue to rise. The rate of unemployment is already astronomical. The rate of frustration is terrible. And all kinds of criminal activities that we have never seen in this country are all available now. So the youth have realized that, look, nobody owns tomorrow for us.
Okay.
Nobody can dictate tomorrow for us. We should come out en masse. They can really take saddle. At my age, at 66, I believe that the youth, if given a chance, at 30, 32, 33, we still have the youth who can take up the matter of leadership. After all, we have national youth movements. We have so many movements that belong to youths. They conduct their elections. They still have their leadership intact. If they can conduct elections and they can have their leadership intact, I don't see why they cannot take over at local government level or state level or national level. So I believe that with the youths coming, a different style of politics will come, not necessarily monetary politics. Because what creates this monetary politics? It is the elders, the old men, who bought political associations and call it political parties, money bags. If the youths politics, I have no difficulty in the youth taking over the leadership and performing better than these elders we have had in several politics who just appoint some young boys into offices as SA or commissioner. No, we want youth who will be in the decision-making position and who will be in the saddle of policy making and implementation, not just appointing somebody into one obscure position. No, I've never had a government position in my life, and I will never. I've always said that. But these youths in Nigeria, look, who is the Prime Minister of England today? UK. He's a youth. Let us give our youth a chance.
Okay.
Then who is the President of
All right.
America?
All right. Colin, just relax. Let's take it one time, one person at a time. I'm actually coming back to you, so probably you were trying to beat the gun. On the 28th of September, officially campaigns kicked off for the 2023 election. While some political parties have since inaugurated their campaign council, the ruling party is yet to do that. And while amidst those conversations, the October 1st Independence Day came, different political parties went about different activities to project their candidates, promote their campaigns and stuff like that. But the ruling party's presidential flag bearer was not in the country. There were rumors that, oh, he went for a medical check, he's not healthy, he's not fit, until we saw a video of him riding a stationary bicycle in a house. Are these pointers to the feelings in some quarters that the ruling party doesn't really have what to campaign with in this 2023 elections?
Thank you very, very much. I indeed appreciate that question. Let me go straight to the question. Otherwise, I would have liked to digress a little. But however, let me go straight. You know, when you talk about the ruling party is more like an inanimate. The persons drives party. So at a point, you may give a party a coloration, but however, it's not a party because someone was assigned to administer. And when you assign someone to go and administer, when he becomes a governor or he becomes a president, and he says, I am for no one, I am for everyone, for example, quote and unquote. And those you acclaim or apparently acclaim that made him are even jettisoned and never had the real opportunity to maybe contribute. Because at that time, if you try to talk more, people may say godfatherism. You want to become a godfather. You trust Nigerians who hate you the way you either support one person to win against their own candidate. They have a way of gathering and waiting for you. So, for example, for Asiwaju, for example, the Jagaban, he was named and called the Jagaban because he takes his time, he plans, and he plans never to fail. And I am happy that in all that we know him for some of us who are his natural fan, even outside the party bound, we know because he takes his time to do what he's doing. And now, beyond just that, different parties were said to have put up their campaign team. How many of them have officially started campaign? And is there anything any of them have done that APC have not done? Is it by a way of going out, mobilizing people that they have done, that APC have not done? If it is on that, I think APC is even taking the lead. Because APC have done more match, APC have done more consultation, APC have invariably are through with the first phase within the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Okay. Now we are starting the re-campaign. Now our boss went away for a while to put out a more strategic plan. Sometimes when you are just around everybody, oh, you are our Oga, I come, you open, I come. When the next person come and say, Oga wants to rest, he wants to put one or two together, and I mean, not come get capacity.
So he can't rest in Nigeria.
I'm coming. So long you are willing, there are people you cannot excuse from not seeing you at that time. There are time to think, there are time to plan, there are time to rest. So apparently that made him, or that gave him the excuse for 12 days. 12 days is not 1 year. He has gone and he has returned back. We heard the oppositions even say that he is already dead, he was dead, and what have you. So you don't run politics on blackmail. You don't run politics on anger. If AYZ have done well and is doing well, it's not his fault. It was his course of destiny. Now we are talking about youth. Like now, my leader actually said, yes, because
by age you are. By age. By age you are.
He's not my leader.
He is.
No, he's not
by
my leader.
age.
Barrister said the youth can become vagabond or what have you they can become just because government failed. How can we at this level say and applaud people not to be organized because a government assumingly didn't do what they need to do? When I was in the university, during Obasanjo time, I was already in the university. We went on a strike for 11 months. One was 6 months, the other one was 5 months. In short, a full section was completely off for me. And that didn't stop me from striving. At those times, I knew at that break time that I had to go and put up things together to gather more money even when we resumed. Because I was actually training myself from school. From SS1, I have started paying my own school fees, taking care of myself all through my first degree and my second degree. Nobody did for me. Now, would I have said, because either family really weren't there, or government weren't there, or I didn't run on a scholarship, or I had a break strike, then I would tell myself I was not going to make.
So are you supporting this strike?
That was not just
the strike that is ongoing now is okay.
Strike is ongoing is unfortunate. It ought not to be like this.
Okay, let me pursue
when a union who ought to be a standard union becomes a political party, these are what you see.
Okay, let me pursue the comrade. Yes, yes. I asked a question. I said. Because I know you probably want to respond, but let's try and stay on course so we can maximize the time we have. Is this a very hard campaign for the APC? That's a question that I asked.
Definitely it is.
Why?
Because in all their promises they failed. In all ramifications they failed.
One.
First and foremost, please.
Just go on. Just go on. Collins, control your emotions so that we can have meaning out of the conversation. Please, yeah.
First and foremost, I never said youth can go as vagabonds. We are on live program.
Okay.
I was a youth in this country. So what I'm trying to say is that the APC government that we have came on board promising the following: that there will be no corruption. They will fight corruption. That the corruption is not fought to the end. Corruption will kill Nigeria. Today, under APC government, we have all seen that the APC is the most corrupt party we have seen since independence.
Well, that's a generalistic statement because there are no specifics to back that up. Yes.
Now, how can you tell us in Nigeria in the 2020s that you bought glass for 280 million and nobody has been punished for it? How do you tell Nigerians that 3.5 billion was swallowed by a snake? Till today, not something about it. How can you tell Nigerians that any government that cannot fix electricity within 6 months should be stopped? And this government has been in power for 7 years, not 6 months. Nobody is stopping them because we are getting more civilized. The youths are getting more civilized and more confident. But no light today in Nigeria. And you posted that if any government cannot bring electricity in 6 months, that government should be stopped. And you have not fulfilled it. The security situation in Nigeria, which was one of the campaign grounds of APC in 2015, the security situation in Nigeria is worse. It's worse. Now you need helicopters to patrol the sky between Abuja and Kaduna, which was 1.5 hours journey those days. You now need helicopters to patrol. And what they celebrated recently, that the kidnappers who kidnap people in the train have released the remaining celebrating. When we are actually paying to get these victims released, no matter how much you pay, what about the trauma they've gone through? A woman came into Nigeria recently, it was all over CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC. A Nigerian woman from England. In her presence, she was captured on the Abuja Kaduna way and taken to the bush by these kidnappers and messed up with her daughter, an 11-year-old girl, and she vowed never to come back to Nigeria again. Now the South, that we should say was a little bit safer under the previous governments. The SAP is no longer safe. Now I cannot even go to Ekpoma when I have cases. I'm afraid. Ekpoma here. I am afraid. Now, if you look at all the indices, when APC came to power, what was the exchange rate of the dollar to naira? It was about 215 naira to $1. Now it's about 700. If I'm not being conservative, is it the health sector? The health sector not to help them about. Is it the education? Here somebody is coming to the studio to say, oh, a union is a political party. No, 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 no. A union is to fight for the improvement, not to say fight, not physical fighting. It's to agitate and use all legal means to get the best for their members and to help the educational sector. And that is what ASU has been doing. ASU has been fighting for the generality of Nigerians. So if the education sector, what concerns if ASU members decide not to go on strike and just sit down and watch the education sector collapse? Where, like today, you have school site holders who cannot even write their names. If they allow the tertiary institution to also collapse, like the secondary school institution has collapsed, you will find university graduates. It is not even common these days to find university graduates unable to speak one good sentence. And this is because the government is underfunding the educational sector.
Okay.
So ASU as a union has a right to go on strike because the government we have today have been promising and promising and promising, going into agreements they have been failing to keep. So what has this government done to the average Nigerian? Is it me who can no longer travel because the cost of traveling has become astronomical? Exchange rate has driven everybody in, but they in power campaigned that once we get to office, we will not go on any medical tourism. Within 6 weeks of coming to power, the first lawful thing you did was to travel abroad for medical tourism. Have we not failed? Every minister, every SSA, all these people that appoint coconut advisor, this one advisor, they all go abroad for medical treatment. Is that what they preach to us? Instead of bringing change, Nigerians fail for that change.
Okay.
Not asking whether the change was a positive change or a negative change.
All right.
But we are saying today that all Nigerians, irrespective of your party, irrespective of your age, we are all suffering.
Okay.
What's that? What it was?
Let me proceed there, Barrister Ibe Thomas. If you just join us, it's Politics Today on independent television and radio. I want to say big thanks to you again and again for being a part of the program. In just about 15 minutes or thereabout, our studio line will be open so you can also call and contribute to the discussion. But in the interim, let's get back to the studio with our panelists. There are reports that the ruling party is yet to come to terms with the constitution of its campaign council, and that perhaps has derailed the start of the official campaign of the party. We've heard comments by Alhaji Adamu, the chairman of the ruling party. We've heard comments on the part of the presidential candidate. What does this portend for the party?
Success. Success. Why it's success?
Just expatiate a little bit.
Yes, success because one, I said before when we just started, there are people who do things and at the end, people take advantage of it and they begin to say we didn't do well. Because Asiwaju will want everything to go in order and he would rather take his time to put his house in order, strategize very well, and nobody will come and say I couldn't deliver at what point and at what point. And that was why you saw that his political clown and his political empire that he has built, no one has come under his tutelage and have ever failed at every point they have been given an opportunity, whether at SA or coconut level as people will be called, but at all levels where they have been given opportunities, they have all said. So that is just to say nothing to worry about. When others are campaigning, APC is doing the same thing. Now to say APC doesn't have something to campaign about, it's quite unfortunate that in this part of this country...
No, I like us to stay on course.
No, I want to answer some questions.
Go straight to the answer.
Yes, I'm going straight to them.
Yes.
You know, where there are areas we do well, there are areas we don't do well. Because there is no perfect institution, there is no perfect person. Even in America today, there are very many areas where both their foreign policies have brought them to their knees just because someone was doing well as a president, but when it comes to foreign policies, the area wasn't doing well. Now, in fighting corruption, let me not even start from the days of Abacha, because I think it was only Abacha who summoned the courage of hyping any official that steals or that is caught being corrupt, and he will deal with you by himself. Now, only this administration, after then, had repeated the same thing. Why have I not said that? Today, we are aware, or we are talking about someone caught a graft with so amount. He was a serving secretary to the federal government. Lawan, the number 3, as powerful as he is, he was exposed by the same government. He was relief. Miana, the pension man, brought in a lot of corruption was saw. He was not appointed by Buhari. He was appointed, apparently, he started his official capacity during Jonathan's administration. He was, hand were dipped into his anus. Information came out. He was dealt with. He was tried. And the trials are ongoing. We know the legal session of this country. See, you can only do...
When you say his hand was dipped into... I mean, that's a foul language. You know, we don't allow such on air.
Okay, good.
Yes, please.
The criminalities that were in him, the billions of dollars that he stole, were pulled out from him.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Was pulled out from him. Today, there are lots and lots you can talk about. The ones we are talking about now, because we say, oh, there are corruption in Buhari's government. Because anyone identified have been proved. That is what we want. Immunity of being in government, that the president have immunity or a governor have immunity, shouldn't be covering their aides when they are failing. And I want to applaud him on fighting corruption, because more are still coming. There are lots that were being caught. Even some who served in PDP administration. At the time, trials, some were bringing their money themselves, and at the time, some started calling it political blackmail, which was not. So on that area, I think he has done well. God bless him. On the area of electricity, yes, during campaign, very eve to PDP government handing over, for example. I don't really want to call it party. I want to call it the individual that were saddled with the responsibility. Because to me, parties are not failing, but individuals we give responsibilities have over the time been the one failing us. Then Jonathan government decided to put up a kangaroo privatization system of the electricity. While the opposition were already campaigning because electricity was failing, they went into a lot of agreement by privatizing the Nigerian Electricity Commission. They privatized it and gave it to their friends, cronies. At different sessions, they privatized them in regional. Some south, east, southwest. That was how they shared it to their colleagues, who indeed brought some expatriates, as said, you know, to be at the front. But we knew how it was all privatized. And they did not just privatize them, they had a legal backup to these effects. That every government that had come cannot just wake up and reverse the privatization. Because there, even in government, there are areas you can't go. There are areas you can't go. It's only when you don't know the law. That is where you run at every point. Okay. So because these people knew, they had to do all of that. Now in security, we talked about security, insecurity. Foundation is more important in everything. When the foundation is bad, when I am building a house, I know the place is swampy. Then I use 2 blocks or 3 blocks to raise my foundation. What do I expect? If I am roofing, when the weight of the wood comes, if I don't take time, it may last long, it may not even last long. I may be inside before it collapses, I may not be there. It may certainly collapse. So we had insecurity problem at the time it started with Boko Haram and their elements. Some people thought it was a joke. They said some northerners were wanting to use it to blackmail Jonathan. That it will remain there, it is there. Instead of us to put heads together, as an opposition that some of us were, we were making suggestions on how we can move. But they were calling it politics. Today, I'm happy some people have agreed now that it has not moved to southward, it has moved to area, to their own villages now, that to pass now is a problem. The same thing I have been visiting. Most times I want to travel the route of Epoma or Aunchi Road. I am always scared. Like, oh, I'm going on this road. Which time could be balanced? Sometimes I try to get 2-3 of my friends. Come on. It's not their interest to go there. I say, let's go together. We are all victims today. Okay. And it's quite unfortunate. Okay. These are things ordinarily we would have been able to solve. Okay. Chibok guesting today, many have not been released. If this government, some people were kidnapped and some were still released, then they should be cause to celebrate because they are human beings. And those elements who are doing this nonsense are our people. Now on the issue of exchange rate, yes, we knew how former President Jonathan, at the point in which he left exchange rate for Nigeria, we knew when he meant it. Nothing have ever really in this country, let's be fair, nothing has ever gone up and come down.
Nothing has remained static. It's always been rising.
Good, it's always been rising.
Fantastic.
Now, Jonathan did not meet dollar in 100 naira and left it in 100 naira. Apparently, he met it in 60 something and he left it in 150 something.
Okay.
Then when the other one came, the same inflation continued.
Okay.
Now, I bet
so when a new APC government comes, it will increase.
It should not. That is why.
Is that what you are saying?
It's not about APC government.
Okay.
Because now in all of these contestants, what interests me in all of this, all of them that are contesting, apparently apart from Sowore, who I have always loved with everything that I can. Sowore is a youth, and I saw a youthfulness in him. But beyond youth, I also like to think of how do they perform before, and at what age bracket are these people? Do you know the funny thing? Some persons that are above 60, just in the name of disguising, they are calling themselves a youth. Okay. Now, for example,
Colin, let me pause you there. Because you had quite a reasonable period of time. We'll be opening our studio line in just about 8 minutes. But by Stevie Thomas, let's get your specifics along the lines of why is this issue of age so dominant in our conversations on the 2023 election, the issue of fitness so dominant. I mean, former President Donald Trump of the United States, we're told, was over maybe about 70 or thereabout. The current president now, Joe Biden, is an old man. Sometimes he's making a speech, he forgets what he's saying, and all of those health challenges that are associated with age. Why is it so dominant in our conversations here in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. I go specifically to your question. You see, when you look at the way we Africans behave, when it comes to age, we falsify a lot of things. To those who are in government today, go and find out their file. Sometimes their files are missing. They falsify their records. But you are not in government, you can't falsify records. Now, when I said I did my birthday on July 16th, I put it on ITV, BS, NTA, because I'm not in government. I'm 66. Buhari campaigned. He knew he was old. He knew he couldn't do what he did as a military government, military of state. But it was less than 6 months. He was in South Africa. He said, oh, if I had been younger, I would have done better. Did you know your age before you came to campaign? You contested the election 4 times and you failed 3 times. You knew your age. And the age is becoming an important issue because now we can see that most of the time where governance would have been taking place, only the youthful vice president is always around. Only the youthful vice president is always around. The other man, who is the president, who said no medical tourism, is always abroad on medical tourism. So, which country can thrive in a situation where old men come, who are not fit, and they keep on falsifying their age, and you expect them to spend most of their time on medical tourism rather than administering the country? That is, I will accept that. So we are not talking of age and fitness. Why was Bola Tinubu's campaign group bringing a man on a cycle? I have it in my bedroom. I have that same cycle in my bedroom. I bought from Southampton in 2001. I have it in my room. So I can falsify anything I want to falsify. So we want people who are not only young, but people who are fit. If Biden is old and fit, it is because his true age is disclosed and he goes to gym. And he tries as much as humanly possible to get fit. The Nigerian man will be 90. He will tell you 70. And as he want you age in specific. When he said he's 70 something, I forgot, Tim Mark, this flutist, said, my in-law, I marry your daughter. I am 70. How can you be 74?
Where's the video to that effect?
So,
these are blackmail.
It's not a contest between me and you.
No.
Collins, just comport yourself. Comport yourself.
Same
When it comes,
in-law.
when it comes to
In-law
listen. When it comes to you, Yeah, so you calm down. When it gets to your turn, you don't need to ask because you are not the moderator of the program.
Okay, then you should be able to
be calm. Yeah, Vice Chair Thomas, you have the floor.
We have seen that the contest has not even started. Nobody has been sworn in as president. Now we are already seeing somebody going to rest for 12 days when the march has not even started at all. Whistle has not been blown. They are arrested already.
They have blown the whistle on the 28th of September. The whistle was blown on the 28th of September for the campaigns to start.
This issue of age is very important and germane. I'm not saying a young person cannot fall sick. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But at least, not that we will see somebody who is apparently, patently sick, and the person is offering himself to lead us again. We have another one that has spent more than half of the tenure on going to London for medical tourism. We want to have another person again like that again. That will not be well for the country. The country should always bring out its first 11. When your country went to play world football in 1985, the youth Coca-Cola Kodak Cup, we won the football. Because at that time, the Europeans did not know that Africans are cheats when it comes to age. That we cheat a lot. So we went there with strong old men to beat small boys in Germany 5-0, 20-0, and we thought, but now that the white people have discovered our fake age history.
MRI.
So we cannot win any competition again. We can't win anyone again. So we have to feed our first 11.
Okay.
And in feeding, just 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
In feeding our first 11, we should not open our eyes, see fire, and just dip our hands into it. That is, we should not just see people who are already getting sick before they even start the actual campaign, and we will not go and start putting them there and begin to regret that, oh, if we had known. We have seen it before. We shouldn't repeat it. We shouldn't say, oh, every government that came to power in Nigeria has never left exchange rate at a lower exchange rate. So we should also now bring somebody who will also now make the exchange rate to become $1 to 1,500 naira. Then are you what are you telling me?
Okay, let me open the studio line because I know that a whole lot of people out there have been wishing to be part of the discussion. It's Politics Today, and it's reaching you live on independent television and radio. Our studio line is 080-8365-1320. You see that number on the screen, but just for the benefit of our listeners on radio, I'll take the number again, 070-8365-51320. 070-8365-1320. That's our studio number. If you dial that number right now, you can participate in the program. But remember, be civil in your language. Avoid casting aspersion on anyone, whether those in the studio here who are entitled to their opinions, which are not the opinions or the views of the station. And then, of course, anybody out there who perhaps is holding a political office, do not cast aspersion on anyone. Just go straight to the issues. We are saying that the campaigns for the 2023 election must be issue-based, should be issue-based, because that's when we can really have meaning in the campaigns. We can really conscientize, convince, and convict people in terms of the direction that we want them to go as far as the election is concerned. While we're waiting for the course, let's just take some few thoughts from our panelists. Let me begin with Comrade Collins. On October 1st, Mr. President gave a broadcast. There are concerns that the broadcast really didn't reflect the mood of Nigeria, particularly going into the 2023 election. Let me get your reaction. Just 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah, he said what he knows best, he could say at that time, because you must also give it to him on one hand, because he may not be perfect. Because across the globe, there are issues. A friend of mine who is in Italy called me yesterday and told me a company where he works there, they are owing him 1 year and 2 months. And they just didn't have the guts to relieve him, but others have been relieved. So the same thing, even buying a bottle of beer or a bottle of Coke outside here, also have had issues. But it's unfortunate that because we have had inconsistency in government, and it's also hard for people to trust those in government, it has brought all of this. But however, my joy is that all the contestants too have all been governor or what have you at their different point. Now let them to tell us, just as you have said, it's supposed to be an issue-based campaign.
Okay.
But how come instead of being an issue-based campaign, people's heads, the pants people are wearing are not the issue?
Okay.
Instead of asking questions, how are you going to take us from insecurity?
Let me take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you call.
My name is Abraham from Medgate here.
All right, Abraham, go ahead.
I thank you for the discussion. The man that contributed before, I don't know his name. See, sir, we must be objective. I decide with the Satana. We are too one-sided. If you are not careful, that's why it has said God abandoned the nation. If you trade the use of Boko Haram, this insurgency in Nigeria, it started out from Obasanjo's time. I remember when Obasanjo said for the good Lord, Jonathan, come, let her do this matter objectively. So it was played down. The issue of honesty came in. So the matter has spread. I want to tell us that, see, there's economic, global economic problems everywhere. Nowhere is so safe. The refinery have been down. The time of Obasanjo, refinery was not working. The time of Yaradua, the time of Jonah, the refinery have not been working.
Okay.
So we know that our president is weak. But it should not be exhaustive. Otherwise, our expectation will become worse.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Hello, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If we've had all of these over the years, you are saying that we should continue with it because we've had successive government. Just hold on. We have had successive government and all these challenges have been there. You're saying that we should continue because I thought that you would say, I thought that in a sane society, when you bring a government in, the purpose of that government, in line with the campaign promises, is to fix those problems, is to provide solutions. So if we are saying that all of these problems are still there, it means that we wasted our time bringing the government in place, bringing the government into power. Isn't that what it means?
No, sir. We are praying for betterment. Look at Edo State now. If you want to remove, start to explain the development in Edo State, what will you say? So we are praying for betterment.
Okay.
But this is, we must be objective.
Okay. All right.
But Allah got to go before us because if we give our the way things are going.
God bless you.
I pray that Allah should help all of us.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you.
070-8365 1320. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning, caller. Hello. Good morning. You're live on Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. 070-8365 1320. That's the studio number. If you're watching us anywhere, you can find the number on the screen. Just dial it and be part of the discussion. Okay. Hello, caller. Good morning. The line is jammed. You should expect that on a day like this. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Love. I'm calling from Obawa.
Love. Go ahead, Love.
Yeah, please, honestly, this country, I really exactly don't know what to say because I'm surprised why a youth like me should be supporting this present government that has put us in this kind of suffering and hardship. I'm really very surprised. What that barrister is saying, barrister is actually speaking the mind of Nigerians. God will bless him. Look at where we find ourselves. As a single lady, I'm looking for a job now. After my youth studies and after my school, where do I have been looking for a job for how many? Walking up and down everywhere. What has the government done for us? This government APC have never done us well at all. They have all put hardship and suffering. They will put it NIN, get your NIN, get your BVN, get your everything is suffering. They keep on banning everything, ban everything. They're not producing anything in this country. APC has taken us backwards. We need better government. Somebody that is healthy, that will have the fear of God, and that will have the feelings of this country to bring us out of this hardship. We are tired of APC government. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Love. Your views are your views and not the views of the station, but we cherish the fact that you're able to contribute to the program. Hello, caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. It's 070-8365 1320. That's the studio number. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Hello, good morning. Just speak up a little bit. We can barely hear you. We can barely hear you. Dial the number 070-8365 1320. Dial the number right now. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning. My name is Comrade Abe. I'm calling from Benin.
Comrade Abe, go ahead, please.
The truth of the matter is that the hardship that we are facing in Nigeria today. Even the blind man can see because of the hardship. It's just unfortunate that we see the truth, we don't only speak to the truth because of selfish interest. Barrister A.B. Thomas have said it all. We cannot go backward again because of the situation of happening in Nigeria. People are dying. There is suffering in the land. You are telling us we should bring back APC? Backward never. 2023 will decide. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Comrade Abi. 070-8365-1320. That's the number. Dial it and go ahead with your contribution. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Be brief. Others are waiting on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Lucky, calling from Upper.
Lucky, go ahead, please. Lucky, you need to turn down the audio level on your television or radio to remove the echo. Good morning. Go ahead.
I want to ask a question.
All right.
The man that is talking there, I don't really know his name. I want to ask him the way the country is like if he is agreed to it.
Yeah, well, that's a rhetorical question, but it's okay.
I will answer you.
No, just go ahead. Just go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
The way the country is now is very bad, and you're telling us to vote for APC again. You're not going backward. That's all.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. It was just a rhetorical question. Hello, caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Andrew.
Andrew, you need to speak up a little bit so we can hear you loud and clear.
I'm calling from Agbo Park.
From Agbo Park. Go ahead.
Sir, I want to ask the man there. I want to say this here. We just celebrated the 62 years of independence. And there is no hope of anything that we are producing. Nothing. There is nothing, no hope that tomorrow we are going to produce. Even this present government is not making any effort in putting things in place. Okay, what? And the reason for this is because the man there, the man in Aso there, is an old man which cannot afford. He does not remember what he's doing today. If he can come out to tell Nigeria that he is not aware that Aso is on strike, what is? And we are bringing another old man again. That man should just leave that studio and go, because I don't see what the APC have nothing to offer in this country.
Okay. That's the much we can take on the calling. Just quickly make your last comment as we call it a wrap now. Yes.
Yes, I am happy someone asked the way we are in. Is it good?
Yes, are you happy?
The word itself.
No, he specifically asked you
Yes,
because you asked.
the way the word itself is, the citizens hearing in the world are not happy.
Okay.
Because one, there are issues that evolve at every time. Now we talk about this government have not performed. Now we have a youthful president before. Jonathan was youth. And at the time he was a president, we know how many times consecutively ASUS and his allies were on strike. How come he didn't solve ASUS problem? So it would have been a thing of the past now. Now a youthful president brought about a conference that would have been able to solve most of the problem. And at when he didn't have the guts, he said he don't want to. Let them not blackmail him. That is a youth. Now what we need is men with courage, capacity, men with mental stuff, not people who claim they can job. Now, the youth have had political positions too that are contesting for president. Let them tell us what they have done in the area where they come from.
Okay.
We don't just run because people are running. I, Collins, cannot run because you are running. No,
All right.
you must tell me the reason why
But
I should run.
Thomas, let me get the last word
It's
from
simple.
Thank you very much.
If you need a job, get that job.
But it's on
No,
the
for
floor.
the one that
No,
needed a
hold
job,
on,
she also
hold
asked
on,
me.
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
coming, you say
No,
it's
no,
almost-
hold on, Collins. Collins, hold on. Hold on. I told you 1 minute. Let's have Barrister A.B. Thomas.
Yes, my last 1 minute, sir, is that the youth should please, apart from marching, they should go from street to street to convince people on why they should come out en masse to vote. This is the chance the youth have been craving for. This is the chance to take back Nigeria and make Nigeria great and be a producer nation, not a consumer nation. May God bless them as they go on to achieve their feats. I am past the age of a youth. I hope they will do well.
Okay.
By God's grace.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time and the views canvassed here, which are entirely yours, as it were, not the views of the station. That's our package today on the show, Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. Hopefully, next week, Saturday. We'll be back here with another very exciting package of the program. I want to say big thanks to all those that called in. If you couldn't call in, next week will certainly be another opportunity. My name is Sonny Duke Okosun. Thanking you for staying with us and wishing you a splendid weekend. Bye for now.